Hello, and welcome to eChan News. This video allows you to listen to 10 real-world news stories and online reactions in English. Today, we will cover the following topics: forecast for nationwide stormy weather, cold wave, and mountain snowfall from November 17th to 19th. Bear invades Aeon Mall in Akita, captured after 2.5 hours. Japan-China joint poll postponed again amid political tensions. 1 year since Hyogo governor's re-election, lingering issues of controversial campaign and online slander. Latte's Premium Gaana expands sales, tapping into reward chocolate demand. Leonid meteor shower to peak on November 18th. Un-British penguin enclosure at London Aquarium sparks controversy. NHK deletes special feature websites, responds to petition by announcing no plans for restoration. US-sanctioned Cambodian firm found to have established 3 affiliates in Japan. Japan's 2040 GDP faces potential 76 trillion yen hit from service collapse in rural areas. First, I will present 10 real news stories in English. I will then introduce excerpts from message boards and social media in Japan and abroad that show online reactions to the news. At the end of the video, I will explain key phrases used in the news with example sentences. Now, let's get started. Our first topic is forecast for nationwide stormy weather, cold wave, and mountain snowfall from November 17th to 19th. Japan is expected to experience severe weather conditions from Monday, November 17th to Wednesday, November 19th, 2025. On the 17th, a rapidly developing low-pressure system is forecast to move north of Hokkaido, while a cold front extending from it will pass over the Japanese archipelago. This will bring intense rain and thunderstorms during the day to Hokkaido, the Sea of Japan side of the Tohoku region, and the Hokuriku region. Authorities have issued warnings for lightning, strong wind gusts such as tornadoes, and hail in these areas. From the latter half of the 17th through the 19th, a winter-like pressure pattern will dominate. A strong cold air mass, unusual for this time of year, is expected to move south. Temperatures at an altitude of 1,500 meters are predicted to drop below -12 degrees Celsius over northern Japan and below -6 degrees Celsius over eastern Japan. In Hokkaido, the rain will transition to snow, with a risk of heavy snowfall and blizzards continuing until the 19th. On the 18th and 19th, snow is also expected on the plains of the Tohoku region's Sea of Japan side and the Hokuriku region. Heavy snow accumulation is forecast for mountainous areas in Hokuriku and Sanin. Drivers on mountain passes and highways are strongly advised to use winter equipment such as studless tires or snow chains. Temperatures will change drastically. On the 17th, before the front's arrival, many areas west of the Kanto region will see highs exceeding 20 degrees Celsius. However, a sharp drop is expected from the 18th. The high in Sapporo on the 18th is forecast to be just 1 degree Celsius, which is typical for late December. Akita and Niigata will have highs below 10 degrees Celsius, and Fukuoka's high will be around 12 degrees Celsius, a level normal for December. In Tokyo, the high on the 19th is predicted to be 13 degrees Celsius, similar to early December, with the low dropping to 6 degrees Celsius between the 19th and 20th. Nagoya is expected to be even colder, with a low of 3 degrees Celsius on the 20th, a temperature low enough for frost to form. Regarding this news, here's what people are saying online.
Monday's temperature will be high, but will it be windy? I really hate strong wind.
Let's use this weekend to get ready for winter. Strong winds on the 17th, then severe cold and mountain snow on the 18th, 19th.
The next topic is Bear invades Aeon Mall in Akita, captured after 2.5 hours. On November 16, 2025, a surprising incident occurred in Noshiro City, Akita Prefecture, when a bear entered a large commercial facility. At approximately 11:20 a.m., an employee of the Ion Noshiro store, located in the Yanagimachi district, reported that a bear had entered the premises. The bear, which was about 80 centimeters in length, made its way to the first floor furniture section and remained there. Although the store was open for business at the time, all customers who were inside were safely evacuated outdoors, and it has been confirmed that no one, including employees, was injured during the incident. Prefectural officials and police were dispatched to the scene. For about 2.5 hours, the bear stayed inside the store. Shortly before 2 p.m., a prefectural official successfully captured the animal using a tranquilizer dart. The bear was later euthanized. Following the event, the Ion Noshiro store suspended its business for the remainder of the day. The location of the incident is a busy urban area situated about 800 meters northwest of JR Noshiro Station, surrounded by shops and restaurants. This event is part of a recent increase in bear sightings and human encounters in urban areas across Akita Prefecture, a trend that has been widely covered by the media. Regarding this news, here's what people are saying online.
It's basically a bear tsunami.
These bears are starting to feel like animals specialized for robbery.
They should just rename it to Kumashiro Store.
The next topic is Japan-China joint poll postponed again amid political tensions. The announcement of the results for the annual Japan-China Joint Public Opinion Poll, which has been conducted since 2005, has been postponed for a second time. The poll is a joint project between the Japanese non-profit organization, the Genron NPO, and its Chinese counterparts. The results were originally scheduled to be released on November 4th, 2025, but were first delayed to November 17th at the request of the Chinese side. However, on November 16th, it was reported that the Chinese side requested another postponement, citing the current state of Japan-China relations. The new date is under rescheduling. If the event is canceled, it will be the first time in its nearly 20-year history that the results will not be made public. The survey is a large-scale project that polls thousands of people in both Japan and China on dozens of topics. These topics include their feelings toward the other country, their perception of military threats, and their views on historical issues and the situation in Taiwan. The Genron NPO manages the survey in Japan, while institutions such as Tsinghua University are in charge in China. Since the autumn of 2025, the Chinese government has been strongly criticizing parliamentary statements made by Prime Minister Takaichi regarding a potential Taiwan contingency. They have also criticized the Japanese government's response to controversial social media posts by Chinese diplomats. This recent postponement is seen as an example of how these political tensions have spilled over into joint projects between the two nations. Regarding this news, here's what people are saying online.
Well, it's always postponed whenever the results aren't convenient.
Honestly, do we even need this joint poll? We already know what it'll say anyway.
The next topic is 1 year since Hyogo governor's re-election, lingering issues of controversial campaign and online slander. November 17, 2025, marks 1 year since Hyogo Prefecture's governor, Motohiko Saito, was re-elected with approximately 1.11 million votes. His campaign was notably controversial due to the 2-horsepower election strategy employed by Takashi Tachibana, then leader of the NHK party. Tachibana ran for office not to win, but to use his campaign speeches and social media to support Saito, a tactic that sparked a nationwide debate. In the year following the election, the prefectural government has been shaken by the deaths of 2 individuals connected to political conflicts. In July 2024, a former prefectural bureau chief, who was identified in connection with a whistleblower complaint, died in a suspected suicide. Then, in January 2025, Hideaki Tachiyuki, a prefectural assembly member who had been investigating the issue, also took his own life. On November 9, 2025, Tachibana was arrested on suspicion of defamation for repeatedly labeling Mr. Tachiyuki as a mastermind on YouTube. It was reported that Tachiyuki's home received numerous harassing phone calls and faxes, and that excrement was thrown onto the assemblyman's property. Despite these events and a third-party committee's conclusion that there was a violation of the Whistleblower Protection Act, Governor Saito has not changed his stance, maintaining that his response at the time was appropriate and referring to the complaint document as highly slanderous. While the governor continues to actively use social media for his personal public relations, it has been pointed out that the prefectural government has failed to establish systematic countermeasures against online slander and fake news, or to create new guidelines for election campaigns. Regarding this news, here's what people are saying online.
Did Saito really not know this was a violation of the Public Officers Election Act?
In the end, it sounds like the money trail is just a 700k yen poster bill.
Ever since the power harassment scandal, why do people trust "we investigated ourselves" from the accused?
The next topic is Lotta's Premium Gaana expands sales, tapping into reward chocolate demand. Lotta's chocolate division reported a significant 3.3% year-on-year increase in sales for the first half of the 2025 fiscal year, covering April to September, marking a record high for the period. The growth was primarily driven by its flagship Gaana brand, which saw its sales surge by 15.3%. Within this brand, the premium line, Premium Gaana, was a standout performer, with its sales skyrocketing by 46%. First launched in October 2021, the Premium Gaana line has rapidly grown to become a major pillar of the brand, accounting for 15 to 20% of total Gaana sales. Its sales value in 2023 had already more than doubled compared to 2020. For the fall and winter season of 2024, Lotta introduced a new lineup of 4 types and 5 products, including rich Nama chocolate, praline truffle, cream chocolate, and fruit chocolate. The rich Nama chocolate is particularly innovative, featuring a shell approximately 1 millimeter thick that encases raw chocolate. To enhance its flavor, it uses a blend of milk and cacao liqueurs instead of the traditional brandy, a design choice aimed at creating an exceptional melting texture. Lotta's strategy is based on an analysis of current consumer trends. While rising prices have led to more frugal everyday spending, the company has identified a growing reward need among consumers who seek small, high-quality indulgences to relieve stress. To meet this demand, Lotta is strengthening its marketing for Premium Gaana as a slightly expensive but premium chocolate. This includes promotional activities such as commissioning influencer videos on platforms like YouTube, where content creators share their tasting experiences, reinforcing the product's position as a special treat. Regarding this news, here's what people are saying online.
I hunted all over and finally found just this one box. Can't wait to eat it. Gonna hunt for the others too.
It tastes elegant, just like Premium Gaana. The caramel flavour isn't too heavy. The sweetness is nicely balanced.
As expected, this stuff is insanely tasty. Nom!
The next topic is Leonid meteor shower to peak on November 18. The Leonid meteor shower is an astronomical event associated with the comet 55P/Tempel-Tuttle, which has an orbital period of about 33 years. This meteor shower is famous for a meteor storm that was observed in Japan in 2001, during which over 1,000 meteors were seen per hour. In 2025, the shower is predicted to reach its peak activity on Tuesday, November 18th. The peak time is expected to be around 3 a.m. Japan Standard Time, with the best viewing window from the pre-dawn hours until dawn on the 18th. According to predictions from the National Astronomical Observatory of Japan and other astronomy websites, the number of meteors at the peak in 2025 will be about 5 per hour, which is average for a typical year. A meteor storm like the one in 2001 is not expected. Viewing conditions are favorable, as the lunar phase is a few days before the new moon, minimizing interference from moonlight. This makes it easier to spot even faint meteors, especially in locations with little light pollution. The weather forecast for the 18th from the Japan Weather Association indicates a winter pressure pattern with high pressure in the west and low pressure in the east. The Sea of Japan side, particularly Hokkaido and northern Tohoku, can expect snow or rain even in flat areas. In contrast, the Pacific side of the country is forecast to have widely clear skies, presenting a great observation opportunity from Kanto to Kinki. Temperatures that night are expected to fall below 5 degrees Celsius in some areas, so observers are strongly advised to wear warm clothing such as winter coats, gloves, and scarves. Regarding this news, here's what people are saying online.
Leonid meteor shower peaks on the 18th. Activity will be at maximum, with the best viewing chances along the Pacific side.
2025 Leonid viewing info. Tonight is also the year's biggest full moon, a supermoon. Let's enjoy the bright sky if it's clear.
The next topic is Un-British penguin enclosure at London Aquarium sparks controversy. The Sea Life London Aquarium, located on the south bank of the River Thames near the Houses of Parliament, is facing criticism over the living conditions of its 15 Gentoo penguins. On November 11, 2025, a cross-party group of about 75 members of Parliament signed an open letter to the Environment Minister calling the penguins' enclosure un-British. The controversy centers on the fact that the penguins are housed in a windowless indoor space with access to natural sunlight or fresh air. Animal welfare organizations, including the Born Free Foundation and Freedom for Animals, are leading the campaign. They point out that the penguins' pool is only about 2 meters deep, which is extremely shallow compared to the depths of up to 180 meters that Gentoo penguins can dive to in the wild. The charities also claim that at least 2 of the penguins, named Polly and Ratchet, have been kept in this subterranean-like environment for their entire 14 years at the aquarium. A petition to relocate the penguins has gathered over 37,000 signatures. In response, the aquarium's owner, Merlin Entertainments, has stated that the enclosure was designed in consultation with veterinarians and penguin specialists to meet all zoo welfare standards, and that their expert team ensures a healthy and thriving environment for the animals. Regarding this news, here's what people are saying online.
Honestly, UK's got bigger problems than penguins right now.
British politicians really got nothing better to do.
If you're complaining about penguins, your country's already finished.
The next topic is NHK deletes special feature websites, responds to petition by announcing no plans for restoration. On October 1, 2025, Japan's public broadcaster, NHK, launched a new integrated internet streaming service called NHK One. This move was part of a major transition based on a revision to the Broadcast Act, which designates registered online streaming as one of NHK's mandatory services. In line with this change, many of the broadcaster's existing special feature websites were shut down. The main NHK news site also effectively shifted to a premium service for those who hold a broadcast receiving contract. Among the closed sites were several award-winning and socially significant features. One was Thinking About Sexual Violence, a project started in 2019 that featured the voices of victims. This site was credited with influencing the 2023 revision of the Penal Code's provisions on sex crimes and received a Hoso Bunka Foundation Award in June 2025. Another deleted site was 19 Lives, which was dedicated to telling the life stories of the 19 victims of the 2016 Sagamihara Residential Care Facility massacre. Following the closures, a petition on change.org demanding the restoration of the websites gathered over 17,000 signatures. In response to inquiries, NHK stated that it has no plans to restore the deleted sites. The broadcaster explained that under the new system, content would be managed more efficiently and could be rebroadcast or restreamed on the NHK One platform as deemed necessary, but the original websites themselves would not be revived. Regarding this news, here's what people are saying online.
They're blasting signals and charging us money, so of course it has a public nature.
If citizens say, "We'll mirror the site and keep it up," NHK would rush in yelling copyright. How is that contributing to cultural development?
I honestly don't understand why they're deleting sites like this at all.
The next topic is U.S.-sanctioned Cambodian firm found to have established 3 affiliates in Japan. According to a Kyodo News report on November 16, 2025, it has been revealed that Prince Holding Group, a Cambodia-based conglomerate, has established at least 3 affiliated companies in Japan since 2022. The group was recently added to the sanctions list by the U.S. Department of the Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control, OFAC, for its alleged involvement in international online fraud and human trafficking. The sanctions designated by OFAC result in the freezing of the group's and its affiliates' assets within the United States. Additionally, transactions with U.S. persons are prohibited. The measures could also severely restrict the company's access to international banking systems and U.S. dollar settlements. The 3 companies established in Japan were all registered sometime after 2022. Reports indicate that several of these companies have their main offices located in office buildings within Tokyo, with their capital stated to be on the scale of several million yen. The U.S. Treasury Department's announcement, which formed the basis for the sanctions, pointed to suspicions that Prince Holding Group was detaining thousands of foreign nationals at illegal online scam operations based in a special economic zone in Cambodia. It is believed that the 3 companies in Japan may have been used as channels for money transfers or as recruitment offices for these operations. In response to these developments, Japanese authorities, including the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, METI, and the Financial Services Agency, are reportedly proceeding with an investigation to understand the full activities of these 3 companies and to ensure compliance with the sanctions. It is standard procedure for these agencies to issue warnings to domestic financial institutions regarding transactions with entities designated under U.S. sanctions. Regarding this news, here's what people are saying online.
These scammers really setting up companies like it's nothing. Japan better tighten regulations fast.
Seriously, how does this happen so casually in Japan?
The last topic is Japan's 2040 GDP faces potential 76 trillion hit from service collapse in rural areas. According to a November 16, 2025 report, projections from Japan's Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, METI, indicate a potential decrease in real GDP of up to 76 trillion yen in fiscal year 2040. This scenario could occur if the supply shortage of essential services, vital for daily life, such as healthcare, long-term care, and retail, continues in depopulated regions without effective countermeasures. The estimated loss represents approximately 10% of the projected real GDP of 750 trillion yen for fiscal 2040 under METI's growth investment scenario. This model, developed by the Research Institute of Economy, Trade and Industry, RIET, assumes that domestic private investment will double from the current 100 trillion yen to 200 trillion yen by 2040. Essential services also include public transport, postal services, gas, and water. Currently, about 52% of Japan's 1,718 municipalities, totaling 885, are classified as depopulated. In these areas, service providers are withdrawing or scaling back operations due to labor shortages and declining profitability. The METI scenario predicts that failing to maintain these services will accelerate population outflow from these regions. This would trigger a chain reaction, reducing production and added value across related supply chains, leading to the potential 76 trillion yen negative impact on real GDP. As a countermeasure, METI has proposed establishing regional cooperative platforms, such as cooperatives, resident-funded companies, and nonprofit organizations. By promoting digitalization and joint operations, these platforms could streamline essential services, increase wages and labor productivity, and help sustain domestic demand-led economic growth. Regarding this news, here's what people are saying online.
Losing 76 trillion yen GDP by 2040 sounds big. But Japan probably won't do anything until it's too late anyway.
Always impressive how the government waits till problems explode before acting.
Honestly, decline in rural areas have been ignored forever. No surprise here.
Before we go, let's review the key phrases from today's news that you can use. Strongly advised to use winter equipment. Tourists are strongly advised to book their accommodation in advance during the peak season. Suspended its business for the remainder of the day. Due to a power outage, the factory had to suspend its operations for the remainder of the week. Tensions have spilled over into joint projects. The conflict in the neighboring country began to spill over into our territory, causing a refugee crisis. Sparked a nationwide debate. The new tax policy sparked a nationwide debate about economic inequality. Was a standout performer. Among all the new smartphone models this year, this one was a standout performer in terms of battery life. Reach its peak activity. The cherry blossoms are expected to reach their peak beauty in the first week of April. Is facing criticism over the living conditions. The government is facing criticism over its handling of the economic crisis. In line with this change, The company updated its privacy policy in line with new international regulations. Ensure compliance with the sanctions. All factories must undergo regular inspections to ensure compliance with environmental standards. Trigger a chain reaction. The sudden bankruptcy of the major bank could trigger a chain reaction of financial instability across the globe. That's all for today's eChan News. Thank you for practicing with us today. What do you think about the news? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this useful, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We'll see you tomorrow.